Three fierce brawlers are about to begin battle in Boston. Stumpy, it's BDS v Vitality. Winner faces Carmine Corp.
It's a battle that the top of Europe has seen time and time again in Vitality. 3 in a row since picking up Zen. They have taken it every single time. A 4-1, a 4-1, a 3-1. BDS being able to take a game each time, but that's just not enough. And you're completely right, Cole. The Bees, they are buzzing. The Dragons are alive. Let's see who can take it here in our upper brackets semi-finals. Oh, here in Boston.
As for Team BDS, who start well with that infield pass, they've been hoovering up the medals. Some bronze, some silver, but never that elusive gold. They have a chance of guaranteeing yet another top 3 this split for themselves. But my goodness, they're going to have to work for it. The work has already begun, though. Rise coming into this side. What a turnaround he's provided.
He's like a chimera of rosters. He changes his skin every single split, it seems like, into a brand new jersey. And yet he succeeds every single time. Yet to take that championship since joining Moist all the way back a year ago, or over a year ago now, but winning it back in spring last season. The BDS, they look all the better for having him. And what a teammate he has been to Monkey Moon and Seiko. Monkey Moon here sitting very pretty at the top of basically every single stat that you'll be looking at in this event so far.
As for Vitality, we expected them with Zen to burst onto the scene and charge teams down, but relatively defensive, happy to play this counter-attack style. This right now, believe it or not, even though they've been camped in their own half, is their game plan, because they know when players like Zen get it, when Alpha gets it, they can strike. He charges down the 50-50 challenge. Redosin's arriving, but Rise gets the save.
Those low 50s being so integral to this LAN, it feels like. Every team focusing on them, and Zen takes a convincing shot on target, saved away by his counterpart in Seiko.
You can tell how close this one is set to be. Gibbs and T-Bates on the desk are split. The chat less so. 75% going for Team Vitality, but Team BDS will stop that in its tracks.
I think we talk so often about that blue wall, but Vitality, they are a phenom in France. They are everything. When you look at young esports players over in that country, they're always thinking, I want to be on Vitality. That is the org that I see myself competing with.
And the professionalism that comes from Ferrer as well. You were talking me through what you saw of their tactics at the start.
Earlier on, I was walking through the tunnel trying to come out here, and they literally had about 4 sheets of paper sellotaped to the wall, and Zen was speaking, Ferrer was speaking in rapid French. It's telling them this is our game plan. They're all discussing it. They are one well-oiled machine. They have sheets of tactics. BDS, though, I'm sure they had the exact same, but just seeing Vitality go through that was incredible.
BDS, too, have had to fight every step of the way, even so far in this event. Was not easy earlier on against Rule 1, even though it was 3-0. As Rise comes into the center, pushes it forwards. Redosin's already up. One improvement from him as well, Redosin. When it was the question of Sizen or him to be dropped for Zen, there was really no question in the end. He's improved.
Redosin's made sure that he, throughout the regionals, has been an incredibly strong player alongside 2 of the best players in the world right now, and Alpha proving the mechanical genius. Gets over the top of one. Zen challenging, throwing his face at that ball, and Seiko now picking it up in the 6-yard box. Zen removes Rise from the pitch. Seiko can't get it further than Alpha. Can't quite chip Monkey Moon in the process. And with 2 minutes remaining, it is deadlock at 0-0.
Rise tries to tee up Monkey Moon, one of the top performers so far in this entire event. Redosin shows his calm, steely determination, getting that one off the backboard, sending it forwards as well. It's been a nervy start between these 2 teams. Tight, slow Rocket League, just trying to prod at each other and open something up. I compared them to Brawlers at the beginning, but this is no slugfest just yet.
Yeah, Vitality having the advantage on the shots, having about 6 compared to BDS's 3 so far. But none of them finding its way in. 90 seconds now. Monkey Moon sends it long in the midfield. Rise to carry. Redosin from that backboard intercepts beautifully with 30 boost. He carries on. Forgoes the ball, goes for the man. Seiko, he aims straight for that ball, however. And Alpha forcing Monkey Moon towards the backboard. This is a nervy first game. Monkey Moon, though, that statistical leader heading down the pitch, challenging versus Alpha. Finds well out very nicely towards Seiko, but nothing still for either team.
Monkey Moon once clear, the best player in the world. Now it's all between Zen, all between Vatira. You know, first killer in that conversation too. He'll be desperate to put himself back up there. But it's his teammate Seiko, the fellow Frenchman, that gets a touch to the ceiling. Monkey Moon turns it down, so Zen's clearance is only as far as him. Pulls it down to the center. Alpha puts it up again. Very aerial game so far. Yeah. Trading solo plays, but so far no blood has been spilled.
That's why boost control is going to be so important going through as well. You see all the fancy plays, you need boost to be able to actually secure them. Alpha, again leaving the ball, but bumped off the play is Vitality offender. Monkey Moon going central with a pass off the ceiling. Rise to find it, to shoot! But then the Prodigy diving in front of the net. Again, then the pass to the backboard. Finally, BDS have some pressure, but immediately turns straight back round. Monkey Moon to save it. Finds Seiko in the corner, 100 boost. Chips it round one. The 1v1 between Zen, Seiko. Instead, Radosin, he punts the ball straight back into the orange corner. The final 10 now ticking down.
As if in a blink, we're at next goal wins territory. Whoever scores it will surely take the first game in what could be an epic best of 7. Alpha's going to try and make it him, is he? No. He watches the ball scuttle to the ground and it's overtime.
And exceedingly rare, a 0-0 against two incredibly offensive teams. Both BDS and Vitality looking like they always try to outscore their opponent by a large margin, but neither of them being able to break that 0-0 deadlock. Rise! Stronger than one defender, but the second comes in to provide backup.
Yeah, Radosin will say he had it covered. He knew Zen had crept up behind him, so would have the low 50 that was lost safely to the side. Here he is again, Radosin, always storing their boost of Vitality. Keep an eye on the bottom right. Very rarely will they go towards 0. So distinct at picking up pads and then stealing hundreds as well. Zen in the corner. BDS maybe about to be a little bit starved with all these steals. Radosin across. Monkey Moon loses the 50 and Rise. He shows what he can do.
Haskell with 20 boost, then continues his counter-attack. Monkey Moon goes up high. The second touch, though. Blocked out by Radosin on the backboard. He stays up there. Sends it long again. Now, Vitality on this counter-attack. Relatively open, but Monkey Moon with that rotation keeps it strong and firm. A minute in overtime. Seiko, the challenge versus Zen. Gets rid of Alpha. No second touch on the counter-attack. And that is what is going to be the controlling meta in this game. The counter-attacks from BDS. Turn the Alpha referenced in our pre-video, and Rise saying, no, we can beat you no matter what we do, and Rise with a pass back.
That's a great pass from Rise to Monkey Moon, who's coming forwards. How's BDS's creativity? Normally they look to Seiko to be the man who can break this kind of deadlock. Alpha is that man for Vitality. He couldn't quite get there. Rise, put it to the side for Monkey Moon. Radosin in the skies, gets the flip reset. Is anyone arriving for him? It's Alpha 54, who just waits for Seiko's touch. Things starting to open up a little bit. BDS grounded, Vitality have the boost.
Double 50s from Zen as well, maintaining that ball control in the midfield, allowing his Vitality players to come back again towards that backboard. Zen with 70 actually lets it go. That's a lazy touch and gets caught out short by BDS. Now Radosin sending it high once again. 2 minutes into overtime, 7 minutes without a single goal till Monkey Moon tries to get involved with one ball coming down. Rise to shoot! And in the skies, the ball, top corner, BDS lead.
Finally the seas parted and it was via Monkey Moon's touch. Radosin, he was backwards, he was awkward, couldn't do anything with it. And Team BDS get exactly what their game plan needed. And that is game number 1.
Stoicism as they sit down as well, not trying to make too much of a fuss of one game. They managed to get one versus Vitality in their 3 that they've played against them throughout spring so far. What they now need is the other 3 to then allow them to win the series.
It was so nerve-wrackingly close, though, between these two. I mean, I was expecting goals, I'll be honest. That was probably some of the cleanest, most rotational Rocket League we've seen so far. To me, this becomes a question of which team dares challenge that, breaks through that, because it was maybe a little bit clean at times.
I mean, in this Mobile 1 high performance replay, we're going to see a small snippet of the 15 shots that we saw go on target on either side, but only that one finding its way in for BDS. Big celebrations. Rise knows how important this is, and Vitality didn't look shut down by any means. Neither team looked shut down. It just came down to them taking that chance. And Cole, what an honor it is to be in front of one of the greatest sections in esports. The crowd is loud. The teams are getting up. It is absolutely game day.
You guys can't see it on your camera, but that's actually section 103 and 104 directly behind
Real
us.
ones know.
Real ones do
Real
know.
ones
Those who've
know.
been following this scene for a while will know what that means. For everyone else, though, keep up the volume, keep up the noise. This is brilliant, isn't it? It's always amazing being in front of a crowd like this.
Boston's beautiful too. We've had a nice time going around the city.
Lovely old
enjoying
buildings.
ourselves. Beautiful buildings, very English in its own way. Everything's rather imperfect in a wonderfully perfect kind of sort.
The England of the America, as they proudly say, maybe.
Yeah, probably call it New England in some way. Game number 2, kicking off on Forbidden Temple. Vitality, shockingly looking to chase in this series.
Yeah, well, you know, they have been conceding games in scrims and in matches. To the side, Monkey Moon keeps up BDS's momentum.
The 50 in the sky from Seiko too, coming in through his own half. Sees there, knows that he flies up awkwardly to an Alpha. Can't get the touch on the goal line. What a follow-up from Monkey Moon just to get the tap in. 15 seconds, BDS.
When Seiko started this tournament for Team BDS, they beat Gen G 3-1. And at the time, I'll be honest, I wasn't particularly impressed with either team. It was a slow beginning, but the further Gen G have got, the better that result is looking. And Seiko waking up. Remember when he burst onto the scene with Endpoint? How dominant he could be. A player that could take a series under his back. He's doing it again!
Finger pistols for goal number 2, 30 seconds, and what a link up between the two players. Rise taps it central, and a delicate deft touch from the opposing Frenchman.
Vitality are gonna have some serious questions asked. They already have, of course. They dropped a game versus Elevate against Complexity.
Yeah.
I feel like AJG will have nightmares about that overtime for a long time to come, and they're almost 3-0 down here. The upgrade that other teams have had around them is paramount.
Vitality with these 2 goals going to need to try and fight it back. And Rise in the midfield is going to make it even harder for them. Zen with 1 touch, but Seiko throwing himself at that ball convincingly. Gets 1 challenge. Redosin left wall with Monkey Moon and Alpha going at it. It flies out in possession of Vitality. A few more bumps finding their way through though, and a double demo coming in favor of Vitality. No reset on that chance. Zen not enough boost, but the shot from Redosin just wide of the net.
Even Zen needs a little bit of boost in the tank. Now he's got it. He's got 76. He squishes it against the wall, and there's Alpha. Vitality back in it.
Alpha 54 allowing that B on the logo to erupt from the net. And there's a lovely challenge coming in from Zen too. Sender, he is probably one of the best in the world at the moment. It's those low 50s and popping it out to a teammate. We saw it throughout spring so far. Is that when he gets those 50s, he knows where his team are. He's got that LiDAR around his head. And he knows, cool, Alpha's around the back of me. For Seiko sees that there's no one around the back of Vitality's net. 3-1.
I'm loving what I'm seeing right now. Rise over the top of his monitor, staring down his opponents in yellow, trying to get under their skin. He's been calm so far in this event. He's been pretty chill by Rise standards, agent of chaos that he is. But he's starting to believe, Stumpy, and so are Team BDS.
Belief is a scary thing on either side that you have it. But Rise, my word, he is absolutely full to the brim. Zen up for 1, tries to bump Rise away from the ball, and instead gets the ball contact. Now Seiko to the sky. Gosh, he looks confident today. 60 boost, a triple tap. Unable to find its way in on the air dribble. Rise up now with 1 reset, the second, the touch!
Rise! Magnificent! The Rise surprise! Look at him go! Zen's trying to get as much height as he can from within the goal. Rise picks his spot, and Rise sinks it.
What a performance from BDS in the first minute 45. A 4-1 scoreline. You'd expect to see this at the end of a game, let alone with more than half left. Vitality, what is your answer to a BDS that are stretching you thin?
And this is precisely what I want to see from Team BDS. As this is defending, Monkey Moon just sends it out wide as much as he can. Vitality, up their own pace. They always have extra gears. You think you're on top of them, they have more to offer. They change their rotations, they adjust their playstyle. Never down, never out, at least so far. They've lost 1 series in the entire split. It was in the grand finals, and they ended up winning the reset. Some would say they still remain unbeaten, but this game, they're a long way away from being that. Seiko can't quite sink it. Vitality just about keep their lifeline.
But still those scary moments. It's that 3-goal lead for BDS, and yet they continue to push. A monstrous flick from Alpha gives them possession, gives them a chance, but Rise again, waiting patiently in the 6-yard box. Monkey Moon's an option, instead he opts to go solo.
Rise has just been flawless. It's not just the finishes, the flip reset that you got earlier on, as well as that, it's the slowdowns, the catches, the touches.
Well, it's the game pace. Anything the BDS want, they seem to be getting at the moment, and Rise there again slowing it down.
His decision-making, so brilliantly executed too. Knows when to fake it out by a few seconds. We'll call that one a fake. I'm not sure if he mentioned this, but Vitality shouldn't be able to score from it because Team BDS did get back quickly. And here's that man back on the ball. A little breezy flick. Seiko to the backboard, wants to get the second touch. Redosin, all he can do is send it towards Monkey Moon. Vitality there for every second ball.
Set up for that double touch though. It was going to be heading somewhere near the target. Instead, Rise is able to clear it away. Nothing too convincing. Seiko up high, again finds Rise. The deadly duo can't quite get the third. And with this 90 seconds remaining, Vitality answers, you need to get them on paper.
Zen tries to take out Rise, but he wriggles free yet again, dances around the ball and wins the challenge. Everything he's doing is made of gold right now. And Team Vitality, their alchemy is struggling. It's not working for them at all.
Monkey Moon corner bound yet again, trying to burn time off this ever ticking down clock. See Zen in the midfield waiting for a chance, waiting for his time to pounce. The teamwork is unbelievable from Vitality. Of BDS, even more so, and a miss from Adosin. It's completely open. Monkey Moon, the 5th, taking down their French opposition.
I'd be intrigued how many times this split, how many times with this team in other tournaments, Team Vitality have been 4 goals behind. I'd gently wager it's not happened before, unless I'm forgetting something. I'm sure our statistician will be able to help us out there soon, but...
Shout out Direct.
A 5-1 lead for Team BDS. This is their final form.
Radosin wants to try and sort something and get a little bit of confidence coming into game number 3, because losing that first one, we said before we started how important it was going to be for BDS. They need to begin strong. You can't go down to Vitality because they will continue. They are bloodthirsty and they are hungry. And BDS, my word, they have made sure that any wounds that they have got are completely covered up.
I mean, you speak of wounds, Team BDS, they were the blunted sword, the world champions. They were struggling. They didn't make a major until this one. Rise joins, and they just remind us how dominant they could be. This game's probably over, let's be honest, but momentum is important.
It's good speed from Alpha, taking it to the floor, fakes out Rise, sees him on the sidewall, even more awkward than Seiko diving his way in. Shaw cutting it down to just a 3-goal deficit, but near impossible in those 24 seconds, especially considering the defense that we have seen coming out from BDS so far. Only 3 saves that they've made, but compared to the 6 shots that Vitality have had, they're saving half of what's being put on their net.
I mean, I feel like now Team Vitality are already in next game mode. Go next.
Yeah, for sure.
We are, of course, as well in the best of 7, which means the tactical timeout should be upon Team Vitality. If they don't take it now, I will be flummoxed.
We've just had confirmation that Vitality have already called their timeout as well. They know a 5-2. That is not acceptable. That's not the Vitality way. Ferrer didn't scrawl on those pieces of A4 and sellotape them to a wall to come into this series and lose 5-2 in game number 2. And we always talk about Ferrer and his magnificent mind.
And speaking of Ferrer, perhaps what he's telling his team is that actually they have gone 4 goals behind 3 times, twice to Liquid and once to Carmine Corp. And do you know what? They won all those events, so nothing to worry about. This one's still guaranteed to be theirs, as was the narrative coming into the Spring Major.
Naturally. Vitality, when they take time out, they are looking at a 64% win rate in the following game. They absolutely take their time. They know what to do, and we see Ferrer in this beautiful arena making sure that he's talking to his team, making sure that they aren't going to be too overwhelmed by what's happening. Because to be honest, I would say the crowd generally feels more on the side of Vitality at the moment over BDS, because BDS, bear in mind, at Worlds, they are not a popular team in North America.
If we were to have the sort of 9 grid of where this crowd stand, I would say they are true neutral in this one between Team BDS and Team Vitality.
It's just watching lovely Rocket League.
Exactly, exactly. And that's what it's all about, right? You come here and you experience the greatest Rocket League in the world.
Mew, couple of fist bumps, make sure his team stay confident. And we saw up here as well, you mentioned Rise standing up and looking and staring directly at Vitality. Even if you don't make eye contact with him, you see Rise stand up behind his monitor and you're thinking, oh boy, we are in for a bit of a world of hurt right now.
I want to see Team Vitality trying to take the pace a little bit more. So far, it's been Rise. He is the player that's the ticking clock in the center of the pitch. And all the Team Vitality players, for all their ability, for all their achievements, young or old as they are, not really one of them is desperate to get the ball on their car and slow it down when they want to. You know, go to the ceiling, try and tempt in a couple of players. They're playing fairly average, regular Rocket League. They need something a little bit different. They have the players for it. The firepower is there, just not using it at the moment.
Bit of X Factor needed, a little bit of spice, a little bit of spark, because right now BDS have got all of that. They're making sure that they are controlling the pace of the game. They've got decent amounts of boost control as well, which I think is probably the biggest part that's shutting Vitality down. They try and go for the plays. We saw a couple of times Zen was going for a flip reset. He gets near it, and he just runs out right at the final moment. He just can't quite arc his body underneath the ball to reset it over any of the defenders. But game number 3, this is where we see how Ferrer earns his paycheck. Do Vitality bounce back, or are BDS romping home?
The reigning world champions are starting to get positive deja vu. They've been here before, up against teams that just can't break through them. They made a career out of it when this org first burst into the scene at the start of the RLCS X days. It's beginning to feel like that all over again, but Team Vitality, they look a little bit different than they did in those days, apart from Alpha, of course. And Zen wants to get it to his teammate Alpha. The Monkey in a huge pinch, it's wiped out, Rise prods it forward, Radosin was already up.
I think Radosin thought the ball was going to go higher, but did well to meet it down closer towards the ground. Zen from that backboard, again, just finding Monkey Moon, who sends it central. Radosin playing laterally along this play, and Rise again high. Seiko called off by Monkey Moon. Monkey Moon back down towards Rise, but a great interception from the Prodigy. Alpha, one reset, goes low, and Seiko, brilliant defense.
Yeah, even when he's not been working attacking, in an attacking sense, Seiko, his defending has been great all split. It's kept him going, and now in this series, he's been getting goals again, getting himself back on the scoreboard. That one's going maybe over the top of Alpha, but Zen was there. And the redirect not quite on point. Monkey Moon will have a clean touch though. Tees it up for himself. Alpha's already up. Alpha misses though. Monkey Moon gets the touch. 2 Vitality players back. I want to see them change from this counter-attacking play style. Try and push Team BDS forwards. Try and knock them back.
And this is exactly what Alpha was saying to Rise in our pre-interview, saying, you guys, all you do is counter-attack. That's your entire thing. We don't need to do that. But look at what's happening. They're making sure, BDS, that they are not counter-attacking, they are just full-bore attacking.
Yeah, and they're starting to force mistakes as well from Vitality. Radosin, he's made a couple.
2.
Alpha wasn't expecting it. This synergy they normally have, the matrix that sort of floats between the 3 players, seems to be disintegrating.
The neural network that links Vitality is experiencing connection issues.
No.
And again off kickoff.
No
Rise making sure that they know that kickoffs are part of this game that BDS control. A huge error for Vitality. Zen tries to find his way back into the midfield. Anything to block it. Minute and a half. Vitality, what are you doing?
What was that about tactical timeout, Stumpy? 65% Vitality have after taking one, something like that. It doesn't look like it right now. Team BDS breaking through every narrative we can chuck at them. Fate means nothing to Monkey Moon, Rise, and Seiko.
Decent shot on target, just trying to get a couple there, make sure that BDS know that you are ever present. Rise though passing to the net, I thought it was going towards Seiko.
Best place to pass to the net.
Naturally. 2 minutes elapsed and Zen wanting to work his way down the pitch, sees a couple central, but Monkey Moon eclipsed by that ball and sneaks his way through. Radosin sees Alpha central, but before that the face of Seiko.
Rise is up, Rise is going to get the save as well. It's just all too simple for Team BDS, reading everything Vitality are trying. The most creative team in the world being suppressed by Team BDS.
It's a masterclass right now what we're seeing. BDS have shut down Vitality. These game plans, they don't mean anything. They're taking a lighter to the A4 that Ferrer crafted so perfectly.
Rise from the ceiling, he was shuffling his way down and almost managed to breach the defenses once more of Team Vitality, who, for their sake, kept it alive at least. Seiko and Rise a double commit, but it's a positive one. Rise chases it down, doesn't quite get the read. Monkey Moon eased up. Does he have the shot? It's to the backboard. Vitality should be able to get it away, but look how still they all are. They're static.
They're waiting.
But he's going for the ball.
Happy to wait in net, but I wouldn't be. Needs to be working on that counter-attack. Alpha finds Radosin into the 50-50, but Monkey Moon strong yet again.
Unbelievable from Team BDS, and they'll go down the other side maybe and score it. Seiko, not quite there this time. One more goal would surely put Team Vitality in need of 4 games in a row.
Unreal.
I've not seen anything like this in all the EU regionals. Team Vitality as a whole, with Alpha, haven't looked like this for a while.
If BDS manage to win this game as well, that they've equaled the amount that they have won versus Vitality in their last 3 series combined. A 4-1, a 4-1, and a 3-1, and those 3 all coming to BDS here in the major. 90 seconds, Vitality. They need an answer. They need to write it down. It needs to apparate. That's 1 up high, but Zen into the corner. Sees Alpha midfield. Monkey Moon, yet another interception.
He's so fast when he goes up into the air. Radosin, though, he puts it wide above the goal. You've got to think that. Once again, a chance. Vitality goes begging. Radosin charges his way in. Seiko buckaroos it towards Rise. Zen intercepts.
Inception utterly needed. The final minute ticking down. Alpha central, Zen to pass. Alpha to shoot.
Oh my.
Shanks it wide of the target.
I just can't believe how many shots Team Vitality are missing. This is probably the best game they've had, certainly since the first one. But they just can't hit the net. Team Vitality cannot pull the trigger correctly.
Alpha gets the 50 towards the top corner, but as we approach 30 seconds remaining, BDS in full control of this game, this series. The fate of Vitality. Whoever loses this, they're not out. It's double elim. They have one more chance down in the lowers. Zen gets beaten by Rise.
Wow.
Rise beats them all. The net is open. Monkey Moon destroys Zen. And it's 3 against Vitality.
From Rise again, look at the pace of him. Redosin, where are you, mate? You're nowhere near it because Rise just got your number time after time after time. Team BDS, the cleanest victory they've had so far. But Vitality have had chances. They'll be kicking themselves, Stumpy.
They've had 4 shots on target so far. It's just not been enough. Only 2 of them have been saved. Zen actually fakes it low. Manages to sneak one under. Rise cheekily cheering, going, woo, well done, boys. Does not matter. We're still winning this one.
I can't believe that Rise, even Rise, concedes the goal and goes, yay, you did it.
Yeah.
Against Zen. You don't patronize Zen, Stumpy.
Oh, Rise does. Rise do not care. Final 10 seconds. Rise waits patiently on the floor, sends it long. It's going to be 4. Seiko with a steal, does a fist bump and all. The sheer confidence, the audacity for BDS to destroy the narrative of Vitality being the outright dominant team here, forcing them to reverse sweep in our upper semi-finals.
Team BDS are a team that traditionally have peaked at the right time season-wise at LANs. You know, they had 2 absolute shockers last season, in winter and in spring, being the second team to ever be perfect swept in winter. And then they ended up winning Worlds, just when they were starting to be written off. This time, this season, it's the same old story. They missed the first 2 majors. Bryce joins them in an attempt, in his words, not just to make Worlds, to win the World Championships. And what happens again, Stumpy, when it matters most? The one you want to win, the one leading up to Dusseldorf, is the one they're starting to look like they may well take.
Not a huge amount on the line here for Vitality or BDS. They've both made Worlds. They've both made sure that they are going to be heading over to Dusseldorf. Vitality, all they're doing right now is playing for that 2nd seed. Oh, my word, what do they do? 4-1. In the Mobile and High Performance replay, it is a reel after reel of BDS being brash and brave and just boastful.
I'd love you to tell these players' collective heart rates that there's not much on the line right now because, you know, these are competitive people who... Yeah, exactly. You know, they could be playing a game of Tiddlywinks and they would get into it. If they lose it, they'll go back and study it and come back better.
Years pro, 1 month. Surely
1 month, and here he is.
Surely literally not.
Yeah.
Because this has been going longer than 1 month, this regional so far. These regional events.
Are you calling out the stats, Stumpy?
I'm calling out our production, saying it's probably not 1 month, probably like 1 month, 29 days or something silly.
Right, I
this
see.
is still mad, by the way. For game 4, BDS, the chance to 4-0 Vitality and deliver them their first series loss outside of a grand final bracket reset. Can they do the unthinkable?
They'll believe it. They'll be certain of it, in fact, but Team Vitality have to charge through that belief. Redosin's going to send this one high. He's bumped out the way. Seiko arrives in, and already early doors, it's BDS of all the clean touches.
Full aggression, that's going to be on the cards of BDS. We see teams get here multiple times. We've seen OCE teams, sorry CJ, go a couple of games up, they get on series point, and then they just flop it. They change their game plan. BDS, they're more experienced. They're literally world and major champions. A long shot saved away by Alpha. In 40 seconds, though, it has been this BDS pressure. Seiko shying away from that one. Redosin up high. With Tinny Boost, he can't quite beat Rise away from that ball, however.
Yeah, not quite on the same wavelength there, Seiko with his teammate Rise, but managed to get back in time and make something from it. Now here he comes, a solo play attempt. Alpha and Redosin, the 2 of them crossing paths. Monkey Moon ends up with a shot. Redosin can't quite get there. Alpha, he was in the center. The ball fell to him.
Ball falls over towards Seiko as well. Takes a shot bottom corner. Vitality's defense staying strong so far. Top corner, again nearly found. Couple of saves on the side of Vitality within 1.5 minutes. And the ball barely finding the blue half. Seiko finds Rise. Monkey Moon now, that midfield is going to be all his. Sends it high towards Alpha. Challenging again and again our BDS. Letting Vitality have no breathing room. But an error. Monkey Moon, Seiko, they team up. And Alpha above that crossbar. Immediately though, BDS find their path. They don't get caught out.
Vitality searching for something. They just can't get the ball to roll in their favor. The dice to land in a way that works for them. Redosin, he's already up this one. That's a huge clearance. Then, now what can you do with this one? You're up. Seiko to the side. Redosin wins the race. That one's almost going on target. Monkey Moon just higher. There's still danger here for BDS. Alpha and Seiko, the 2 of them. And look where it ends up. It's Rises and it's clean. Monkey Moon towards Rise yet again. He can just send it towards the Vitality goal. So far, Team BDS showing their patience, not getting rushy. There was one double commit, but other than that, they've been pretty professional. Redosin has Seiko in front of him, rotating away from the ball, but the boost is so low for him. He can't do anything with it apart from just show his face and be beaten to the ball by BDS.
Halfway through a game that could see Vitality go to the lowers without winning a single game in the series. It's somewhere that I did not expect us. I thought this was going to go to 6, maybe 7, but Rise gets on the end of a shot. Alpha to save it away, keeps Vitality alive. Zen does the same. Seiko high towards Monkey Moon. Caught out by Alpha on that chance. Rise on target! Rise! Another banger top left!
It was a good finish. Redosin's got to save it, the Rise. He did what he had to do. I don't think even he expected that one to find its way into the back of the net. But when you're 3-0 up, when everything's working for you, those are the sorts of moments that tend to go your way.
They still all count as one, and BDS and Vitality are equally aware of that fact. Vitality find themselves chasing again. This Zen flash of brilliance opens the net! Vitality! A well-needed equalizer!
And it is from their talisman, it's from Zen to the ceiling, getting the reset. Alpha 54 just slams the ball down. It doesn't matter how it goes in. It wasn't the cleanest finish in the world, but who cares when you get your equalizer?
They still all count as one.
There's been a couple of dodgy goals, like we say. 1-1's all that matters.
As a wise man once said, they all count as one. It was me about 20 seconds ago.
You're very clever, Stumpy. Very wise indeed. Here's Seiko. He's pretty wise himself. He's almost put it wide. Monkey Moon. Alpha gets the crowd alive. Maybe gets his team alive.
Acrobatics from Alpha sees Vitality keep this one level. Minute 40. But the push from BDS has been brushed previously. Vitality holding on for dear life. Rise to shoot low. He can't save that one, Vitality.
They just can't be broken. Their spirits can't be kept down, Team BDS. The Wonder Save comes in against them. They recycle the play. They keep the boost going. They keep the attack going. And there, in the end, was their new star Rise.
The Chimera finding his way through to dominance against one of the world's best. Rise shooting yet again, just forcing Alpha to use a little bit of boost.
Demo.
Get rid of him, Redosinio.
Redosinio. Go on, Sunset. Into the corner, Monkey Moon. Sends it as wide as he can. Alpha's up there against Rise, though. He's got 14 boosts. He's using it as best he can. Zen up against Redosin, beating him to the ball, his teammate. But Redosin's ball side. He's got no angle to play with. Seiko forces the fake out. Monkey Moon into the corner. One more goal will sting Vitality here.
Minute remaining. We see Zen take it to that back right corner, sees Monkey Moon ahead of him, gets it round Rise. Finally, waiting goal bound is Seiko to shut down chances. Alpha with a miss. Zen again having to clean up.
Is then pushing it into the center. Monkey Moon, incredibly quick. Up against him, he is rapid. Zen up against Seiko, the speed of Team BDS. Surprising Vitality at every turn. Redosin, a poor touch. Alpha does whatever he can with it.
Monkey Moon, chance to get the third, chance to seal this deal. Rise with 150, sends it high. Seiko touches it towards his own net, and Redosin, he won't be missing them. An equalizer at the death.
But the instant reaction from their coach, over the top of Seiko's shoulders, let it go. It happened, it's a mistake, you're 3-0 up. It does not matter. And that is the new version of Team BDS, the spirit that's unbreakable.
30 seconds. Chance for Vitality to keep their dreams alive, but Rise is going to be the man in their nightmares for days to come. Monkey Moon takes it back left, shuts them down time and time again. Gets those low 50s. Now Seiko up high, sent to receive, up for the double. It's on target. It's saved away.
Yeah, but it's Redosin's turn now. A breath of fresh air for Team Vitality. They got the luck, but Zen, he has to be aware for that doink.
Zen finally, final 5 seconds. It's loose, it's waiting. It's scary for both these teams. A touch potentially, Monkey Moon keeps it high. That's brave. It's Zen to keep it even braver. Monkey Moon again towards that right-hand side. Alpha, chance to kill. Lots of boost on both sides. In the end, overtime. Will we bookend this series with golden goal?
Team BDS 1 goal away from the impossible. Maybe that's the moment, Zen. He had to scamper back as quick as he could. Redosin charges Rise down, but Rise gets it back towards Zen. Redosin up against Seiko. The ball is loose. The ball belongs to Alpha. He takes it to the ceiling, but Rise sends it wide. Now Redosin towards Zen yet again. Vitality starting off the overtime superiorly. Dosen's a player he's going to fall to. He's struggled at times this series, but now he has to wake up.
Good demo from Rise, shuts down the counter-attacking play from Vitality. That backcorner getting a lot of screen time. Redosin with one miss, the ceiling. Not quite kissed by the ball. Stake with a 100 boost, takes it high, gets bumped to the ceiling, one reset, Rise to shoot, but Zen to clear. It's a long shot, it's Monkey Moon, tips it high, it goes straight in! Of course it's Zen! Vitality, stay alive!
Side of a champion is playing badly and still finding a way to win. And let me tell you, Stumpy, I've seen this team Vitality play many times. Probably the worst I've ever seen them perform. It's a real struggle for them out there. But they win a game, and that's where these comebacks begin.
BDS are battling Brave. This is an extremely nervy time for Vitality. No timeout seemingly called. Mew, an incredibly intelligent World Championship winning coach, has decided not after one.
Yep.
We don't take it after one. Two, I imagine it will be. If this goes to three, Mew, and you're holding on to your timeout, pal, it's like in a game. Don't wait to use your potions for the final boss. You need to use them a little bit earlier on. Make sure that you can spend them wisely.
Yep.
For Vitality, they turned it round and won at the overtime despite the late goal that came in favor of BDS.
I mean, Vitality's vital signs, they were flashing. It wasn't looking great for them at all. And then one touch from Seiko, and the way that equalizer came in, and the same from Monkey Moon as well. We used to call them banned touches back in the day. You remember that?
Yeah, a banned touch headed back into your own half.
Yeah.
The Mobile One High Performance replay doing BDS somewhat dirty, but they were dirty on the pitch.
They did themselves dirty.
Maybe it is just deserved. The Spring Major is delivering a good few bangers so far, Cole.
He's English, living in Portugal, playing on a French team.
Wow, he's a triple threat.
I'd actually say that's 3 fun facts. So I'd call that production again. Put an S on the end of that bad boy.
Well, you think he's English is a fun fact?
Yeah.
I don't think being English is that fun.
well, we'll leave that debate for
Barely
another time. We'll leave it. Well, it is a fact. Anyway, we'll move on because we could discuss this all day long because that is who you and I are, but who Team Vitality are, Stumpy, not losers. They do not give up in times like this, but Team BDS, they'll have got that one over by now.
The battle is going to be remaining strong for Vitality. Their hearts are going to be roaring with that French pride. Alpha getting in the way of Zen on that chance, though, and Seiko to shoot long. Rice is going to be chasing, but Zen, first man to it. BDS, my word. If they can take this down, if they can get these shots in earlier, if they can crush that French spirit, if the drums stop in their heart, then what a series surprise this has been. A long shot coming in, but just shot wide by Redosin.
Redosin, for me, the key man for Team Vitality. He has been supreme the last few splits for them. Been excellent. Even after Zen came in, never shied away from the responsibility. But I think it's safe to say that this series, he's had a struggle.
Yeah.
If he can wake himself up, suddenly Vitality stop purring again.
I mean, we saw earlier on, literally like 3 misses a game or so, and them causing big problems for his 2 teammates. But Zen, he wants to be a thorn in the side of BDS. Chance for him to dunk, but Seiko sends it high enough. Redosin now dropping it low, pretty much a nothing touch. Instead it finds Monkey Moon. Stealing is Seiko. 1 touch down is Seiko. The second touch is Seiko. Rice shoots high. Does not quite find the angle he looked for.
Yeah, BDS just getting that ball on their string, pulling it away whenever Vitality were nearby. The final flourish wasn't quite coming. Rise, great first touch. Adele opens things up. He's got the flip reset. Redosin's got the clearance though. Back to Seiko with him. Monkey Moon round the corner. Alpha gets it as far as he can. That's only as far as Rise. The first touch, as ever, is perfect, but Zen's charge down is going to do an incredible amount of work. It's going to hit the crossbar. Monkey Moon gets the save, though.
Minute 45 and Vitality looking alive. Redosin drops it down. That shot not being particularly threatening. No, it's Zen again. Holding, biding his time. And a miss from Monkey Moon. Learning from big brother Redosin. 2 minutes elapsed on this chance. Good pass is central. That's the 1, that's the 2. Will we see the 3? Not as Monkey Moon wants to find his way into the touch on that one.
Demos are starting to rain in now as well. It's been a pretty clean series of Rocket League demolition-wise, but as they get tired, as the mechanics become trickier, they're starting to open up the play by going for each other instead of the ball. Alpha smushes that one onto the backboard. Redosin's a little bit close. Will be able to recover. And now he goes again. Zen up in the air. That's where his teammates want him. He's going to get this second touch. He's going to score it, surely. Apart from the fact that Monkey Moon was the door he couldn't open.
Halfway through this game, and it looks like shades of the first. Overtime decided that one for BDS. Took 2-3 minutes. Well, we've still got 2 minutes remaining. Radosin, midfield, one touch wide. Rise, the only man to receive it. Alpha now in that back corner. Chances really starting to shut themselves down. Caginess emerging.
This is the Rocket League equivalent of a breather. Both teams
slowing
things down until suddenly BDS changed the pace.
Couple of shots. Full BDS once, shame on you. Save it. Shame on you again, Seiko. He's going to be the third. The finger pistols come straight back out. And you see the reaction from Rise there, a little bit more subdued, thinking, I'm not going to act out, I'm not going to be too silly. This is still on a knife's edge.
Rise tries to tee up Seiko, but then he gets the read. He has been better the last couple of games. Radosin has 2 actually in this one after getting that game win last time out. Really seems to have soothed his nerves somewhat. Rise, though, he's the one who's making things happen. Seiko is found by Rise, but Zen's going up. This is happening more and more as far as Team BDS are concerned. You cannot keep giving that man this much space. Eventually, he'll punish.
90 seconds, Monkey Moon in the sky, sees Rise Central wanting to go for that pinch. Instead, Rise removes Radosin from the pitch entirely. Alpha Central sees it open. Monkey Moon is going to be the defender on BDS's side.
Seiko wants to get past Zen. Team BDS starting to see this. There's Monkey Moon, stabs it forward. Radosin with the reflexes.
One touchdown from Monkey Moon, only towards Radosin, however. Zen on the floor, removes Seiko from the equation entirely. Zen Central, Alpha to shoot, but Rise, the difference maker.
The man just reads everything, and now his teammate Seiko's doing some work. Rise goes for the pre-flip, the redirect on the floor. Another great idea from him. Alpha comes away with the ball, but it'll be Team BDS pushing forwards for the last 50 seconds until the tackle comes in.
Demos more and more prevalent. Seiko been removed multiple times.
What's going on there? They're tackling each other, getting in each other's way. It's going to fall for Rise somehow. He can't score again. It's saved. Radosin, does he have the pass in the center? Does he want to go solo? It's Seiko to the ceiling. Zen's there as well. This chance looks appealing, but Rise, every time the thorn in the side.
The double commit, it's floating long, it's towards that orange never saved away by Zen at the absolute death. Now Rise, right side, gets tackled by Zen, it's a bite, it's a shot, it's Vitality!
Never count them out. Even if there's 1 second left, even if there's 0 seconds left, when Zen has the ball and Alpha's arriving, Team Vitality are thriving.
We said shades of game 1. A series potentially bookended by overtimes, and Vitality have bought themselves that opportunity. Monkey Moon, though, he wants to rip that ticket up. Midfield, Seiko low, out to shoot, that's above the net. Rise with a spectacular save.
Who's the ball gonna fall for? Will we see this overtime? Alpha to the ceiling, there is gonna be one more chance, maybe, until Seiko says no.
An intelligent touchdown leads to an overtime. BDS sweating. They lost from here before. Alpha challenging versus Monkey Moon. Battle of the French. Rise up high. Monkey Moon central. Rise wants to go it alone. He does not. Monkey Moon shoots. BDS topple the kings of Europe.
It seemed impossible. We thought it couldn't happen. Team Vitality overwhelming favorites, but BDS do not care.
Emotions rising high, but they knew they could do it. To them, this isn't a shock result. This was expected. They know that it's a possibility. And BDS have been delivered their first series loss outside of a bracket reset in a grand final.
Top 3 guaranteed for Team BDS. As for Vitality, they're gonna go down and take on North America's darlings in Gen G. And I'll tell you what, Stumpy, this crowd, they will make it hostile for them.
No, I reckon the crowd are gonna be on the side of Europe this time.
Do you reckon it's time?
Right, guys, time for Europe, yeah? All on the side of Europe, yeah?
Yeah,
they seem good. They're all off to get some hot dogs or burgers, whatever Americans eat.
It was a friendly boo, it's fine.
That's fine. Vitality. They need to go back to the drawing board. Instead of 3 sheets of A4 Ferra, make it 4, make it 5. There's more that can be done. Vitality, their streak has ended. They were 19 series wins in total, unbeaten throughout spring, apart from that bracket reset by KC. All the way back in the second spring regional. BDS have delivered a result that they could not fathom coming into this tournament.
And Team Vitality as well are going to learn a lot about themselves. But BDS, they have all the understanding. The game plan for them was perfect. What impressed me the most was, ironically, the game they lost, how they rebounded from it. Because the mistakes from Seiko and Monkey Moon, BDS teams of the past collapsed there, head in hand style.
I just like seeing how teams change when you see a brand new player on BDS come in. Rise, that difference maker. He has been a sublime character for the 3 teams that he's competed on this season. Yet again, he makes that difference. BDS, they take it versus Vitality. And on the stage with Subi, it's the Chimera, the Agent of Chaos. It's Rise.
The defending world champs derail the hype train of Team Vitality and get it done. I'm joined by Rise up here on stage. And Rise, there's been so much talk about Team Vitality. A little feedback there. Team Vitality, K-Corp. It seems like they've forgotten about you. What does that do to you mentally? What goes through your head when you hear those talks?
Well, I mean, honestly, it makes me happy when I hear people underestimate us, because we know how good we can be, we know how good we are, and I think we've just proven it.
Yeah, you definitely did. I mean, you said it wasn't a 4-0, but 4-1 is pretty good as well. I mean, you guys were doing so good, you scored on both ends of the field, so hey, you know, you're doing pretty good for yourself. But for you, it seemed like the goal was to shut down Zen. I don't know if that was talked about before the match or if it just kind of played out that way, but was that something you guys discussed prior to this series starting?
No, I don't think it's beneficial to shut down one player on that team, because, you know, they're like literally a 3-headed monster. They can all do everything. So it was just a case of play our game, and if we play well, we know we can beat them. So.
Well, speaking of monsters, you seem to turn into one anytime you're in front of a crowd, such as this one in Boston. What does it for you? What is it? What is the difference for you when you get to play in front of these lovely Rocket League fans?
Look, man, they just give me energy. I don't know. No matter how I feel, like backstage in the prac areas, I get on this stage and I just feel like in my zone. I don't understand how, but.
Hey, one thing's always true. When you take the pitch, you're as cool as a spring breeze. But I gotta ask, and I hope you can give me a little answer here. There was a lot of cross-stage chatter coming from you. Anytime those player cams popped off, you were popping off against them. While we keep it E for everyone, what were you saying, trying to get in their heads?
Well, I was just saying that they're bad, really. They tried to kick off strat and we scored straight off it, so Ferro was getting a piece for the strat book, but yeah. No, it's just, you know, it's all fun and games. All love to those boys, like nothing personal. It's just, you know, if I can get in their head that way, then we'll take it.
No, I mean, we've seen that from you on social media, on the pitch. It doesn't matter. Like, we know all of you are friends off the pitch. You try and get in their heads as much as possible. Rocket League is a mental game, but for you, the mentality when you take the pitch, especially in front of a live crowd, you had something like 70% goal participation. How do you continue this domination every time we see you play on stage?
Trust my teammates. Said it the other day. It's just trusting your teammates, working together. As Jack said, you work as a 3. You have 2 other people with you at all times. So, yeah, it's great. I have great teammates.
Well, Rise, yourself and Team BDS have officially made a date with K-Corp on Championship Sunday. Look forward to seeing you there.